So, happy new moon in Taurus. Super new moon in Taurus. How's everybody feeling? I feel great. I feel ready. I feel motivated, charged. You know what I'm saying? Getting on with the getting on. All the things. All right, we're going to give a few more minutes for the rest of everybody to come in, and we're going to jump in. We're going to go over just some basic definitions so that you guys are reminded, because I know you already know what Taurus means and what Taurus represents, but of course we have to go through it as if you don't know nothing, right? We got to always go and refresh. Good. I'm glad you're feeling good, Brandy. But we're going to go through just the basics of Taurus. Please, please have your charts. So either I want you to have your 2024 charts if you have those. If not, I need you to have time passages open so that when I'm going through just the different parts of areas, then you'll know how to find your stuff. Time passage is going to be the best way for you guys to study for class for today and just in general. So when you see me talking in the morning, those screenshots and stuff that I be posting, all of that is from time passages, okay? So I do that so that you when you go and look for yourself, you can kind of see the similarities there. But time passages will always be the main tool that we use when it comes down to you studying, not just your chart, but just what's going on for the day, okay? So we have about 15 people registered for class today. I am not going to stall and wait. I'm going to jump in like I always do. 7:05, I'm gonna start. But that gives y'all a little time if you do not have your charts to go and find them or pull up whatever chart that you want. Also, go get you some water or whatever you may need to make sure that you're going to be completely good during the class. Get that. Yes, ma'am. I love time passages too. I'll be talking to the owners all the time. And I'll be like, I know y'all see me tagging y'all. I know y'all see me over here. Y'all need to go ahead and make me a partner. Go ahead and put me in that thing. Because everybody that I work with has time passages. So no, I'm real cool with the family that created time passages. I think it's a really dope app. And it saves me a lot of trouble because I don't have to go through the works of having to create an app, right? So many apps out there that you can use, but time passages for me is the best. So there's other tools out there that you can use too, that's apps or whatever. But I feel like for basics and you really trying to get the gist of what astrology is from a day-to-day perspective, I think it's the best, right? Even Cafe Astrology, they don't have an app, but if you go to the main page of their website and you scroll all the way down in the bottom, they have what's in the stars for the day or what's in the stars for the week, right? So it's a lot of different apps, a lot of different sites, astrology sites have what you need, but you just have to be able to go in them, okay? You have to be willing to say, okay, well, I'm gonna study and go in here and see what I can find, okay? So I'm gonna go through the basics, Taurus definition, as well as going through the Venus definition and understanding where these things take place, right? And then we're gonna go into just how you need to find where your values lie and where your foundations are. When I talk about values and foundations, I'm just talking about Taurus, right? But I'm using the keywords so you can start to understand that it is a language that we're using every day, whether you are aware of it or not. You are constantly speaking your aspects. You are constantly speaking your different parts of your chart. You don't know it because you're not as familiar with the keywords. But the more you start to get familiar with what these keywords are, right? These vibrations that we're speaking, you're just talking about your astrology aspects, okay? So we're gonna get into those. And then what I wanna do is go through, since it's only 15 of y'all, right? I don't know if everybody's going to show up for class, but I want to go through your Taurus aspects. The reason why I want to go through your Taurus aspects is because one of the things I think is extremely important today with this being a super new moon in Taurus and us going through what we just went through from the retrograde to that eclipse season, is extremely important that you understand how to establish a language, right? Like the words that you need to be saying today as it relates to what you're going to be creating for yourself. So the way to get to abundance is words, okay? Language is how we get there, okay? Why? Because language changes your mindset. And the more your mindset is changed, the easier it is for you to tap into those things. So we're going to practice some statements, creating some value statements, creating some statements as it relates to your foundation, so that when you start to move into this energy, because it's going into full tonight, right? So it's not full technically yet. It's gonna go full tonight. Hey, Monique. And Carissa is going to go full tonight. And when it goes full tonight, this energy of wanting to ground yourself in your values and your foundations and wanting to really, you know, be more so in the understanding of like, where are my things, right? What is all this stuff that I'm supposed to have, keyword, where is it, right? Well, the truth is you already have it, but you just don't know the words to attract it, right? So we're going to practice. I want to practice with you guys, right? Before I let y'all go, practice your language as it relates to the I haves as well as the I desires when it comes down to you being able to attract these things, okay? All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to take y'all and move y'all to a different view. All right, well, before I do that, do anybody have any questions for me really quick? Okay, let's see what Kelly just said. Eclipse season, retrograde, full moon. So, girl, who you telling? It was don't know a person. Okay, now this is very rare for me to say. I do not know a person that didn't feel something. Okay, from March 19, 18, 19 all the way up until today. Up to date, okay? I don't know a person that didn't feel something, didn't go through something. The shift and change and the purge that we just went through, so necessary. It was so necessary because had it not happened, a lot of us would be still in the same traps, the same, undermining ourselves, the same imposter syndrome, all the stuff. We would still be there. Okay. So this Aries season, the way the Aries came and pushed all of us, I felt like I was going like this the whole month, like just get your shirt up. You, I'm being pushed. The spirit's like, no, you're not doing the work. You are alive. Okay. You're doing part of the work. The work that you're not doing is recognizing that you're still giving out into spaces where you don't need to give out. You're not looking at the receive here, girl. You're not processing this all the way, girl. And I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, it's me, right? So if you did not in some form today realize that you are the problem, or that you are the biggest enemy that you've been dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Because we love to make people the villain in our stories. Oh my God. We love to be the victim. Oh my God, I did everything and they did nothing. We love that, right? That ain't gonna get you nowhere, okay? Nowhere in nowhere that you want to be. That's not gonna get you nowhere, okay? But if we are serious, okay, about bossing up in this lifetime, and if we're serious about really acquiring the gifts and talents and things that we know we came here to do, then you would be doing that. You will be owning these things. You will be owning up to the responsibilities of your choices. It don't matter that some of them choices may not have been the best ones, right? Meaning it may not have been the best to longevity, right? If you wanted a long-term something, maybe some of the choices you made, you already knew it wasn't going to be long-term, but you tried to force it to be. No, that's the problem. Forcing situations where you know that's not where you need to be, right? So a lot of this stuff came out of us knowing how to clear and get ourselves together, okay? But that is ownership. You got to own your stuff, okay? So a lot of this is conversation today is about that, because one of the things we have to realize about where we have Taurus, Taurus is the prince and the princess, okay? So it is the entitled one, okay? It is the do my nails and my feet and handle it for me, cook all the food, okay? Pamper me, feed me with grapes. It's all of that, right? But Taurus also has to grow up. Because when it grows up, no matter what sign we're talking about, all of them have 3 stages, okay? And the final stage of Taurus is being the CEO, the all-American. Like, it's the one that is in place, okay? It's grounded. It knows what it's doing, but it's not afraid to, again, boss up and say, hey, I got to take that on. As long as we're in our stages of victim versus villain, or, I don't know what to do, or all this kind of stuff, we ain't got there yet, and I'll just use an example. My daughter called me today in full rant. And when I mean full rants, I mean full, oh, mama, like to the point I was like, what's going on? She had me in panic mode for just like a half split second before Spirit's like, before you are feeling great. Okay. So before you let this child pull you out of greatness, where you feeling, relax, right? So she was, oh, mama. I said, what is wrong? And out of her mouth was, I don't do nothing. I don't have no friends. I don't go nowhere. All I do is work and go to school. What problem, what issue is that right now? Let me back up and say my child is a Mars and Taurus. Okay, that's what she has. Her strongest energy that I deal with the most, that is a problem for me that I have to catch myself, is that part. Why? Because I purposefully raised her to be a spoiled little Black girl. The reason why is because I don't feel like Black girls are spoiled enough. Okay, so I'm on a mission to spoil as many Black women as I can because we didn't get it. Okay, whereas all the other cultures, not all of them, but a lot of other cultures got the permission to be that. You know what I'm saying? We did it. So with that, also is recognizing that sometimes she want to do this. She want to do this fall out, call out. Oh, and I'm like, I'm not doing that with you, right? So I immediately went into like, is your bills paid? And I know her bills paid because I pay them. Okay. That's part of the spoiledness. Okay. Two, I was like, had you ate? Did you eat yesterday? Yeah. Okay. Is anything going on with the house? Okay. Is my granddaughter Freedom the cat okay? Yes. Okay. Are you and your roommate okay? Yeah. Everything I asked her was a yes. Right. So then I proceeded to say, well, what is the problem? What is the real problem? So then as I'm checking and balances in her own system, she recognizes she don't have no problem, but she recognizes that she's a problem. I said, listen, if you say all you do is work and go to school, that's your problem because you don't have to just work and go to school. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to work. That's your choice, right? But you decide to do that because that's what you want to do. She decides she got two jobs. Okay, she one is a library, being a librarian when she don't do nothing. Okay, she just sit there and call me most of the time when she at work. The second one, she decided to work at Taco Bell, which is both of these jobs are on campus. Okay, she don't have to. Her apartment is right by campus. Okay, I bought her a little scooter bike that she sit on, that she could. Everything is it's lavished out. But here she go calling me about what she don't have, which all she got to do is switch it. I said, first of all, if you want friends and you want to do something, why ain't you doing it? Now she just had a 420 party, had 5 or 6 friends over there. I said, well, where's these friends? Okay, where are the friends you had over there a couple of weeks ago? Well, I didn't call them. Okay, what you are an animation and graphic arts student. Okay, there are nothing but smart and intelligent. Now, even though she is the only Black girl in her class, right? She's still surrounded by, nothing but amazing Black little girls like her. The reason why I say it's because most of her friends are all in like music business or in music arts and that kind of stuff. Her girlfriend, okay, is in music arts. So she's surrounded by people. But this is another thing about this Sun Aquarius with the Mars and Taurus. She hate people, but she love them. So because she hate people and she love them, she sometimes don't know when to decide to say, I'm going to reach out or when I'm not going to reach out. Okay. This is her. This is her, all her stuff. Okay. So I was like, listen to me. If you're not going to do anything about it, you don't get to call me in full panic about what your life is doing. I don't even let y'all do that to me. How many times I've let y'all call me when we on a session? Y'all be like, and I'm like, girl, yeah. No, I'd be like, no, correct that right now, right? It's the same for my family. It's the same for my mom and my daughter. Okay, it's the same for my close friend. I don't care who you are. If you're around me, you don't get to call me and dump on me about the things that you will not change. Okay, that's what this energy is very much about. Okay, you don't get to complain about what you don't have. You don't get to complain about the desires you have, but you haven't met those desires because you are afraid to do something. Do it scared. I don't care. I don't care about you being scared of stuff. You still have to acquire it. Okay. So understand that this is a conversation about what you already have. So if it's a money situation that you're dealing with, you already got the money. You just don't want to do what it needs to do to get the money. Okay. If it's a relationship situation you already got the relationship, but you are not just resisting to doing the relationship agreements that I've been asking y'all to do for months. Okay. You got the tools and the resources, but you have to use them, right? That's another thing I told her. Now, I noticed that since the beginning of the year, she has these periods of going up and down in her emotions. And I'm like, London, I was like, you're really battling with your mental health. I was like, you either need to let me help you as a therapist, or you need to go and find you a therapist, or you need to go to the gym, right? So of course, my Mars and Taurus, I love her to death. But she gave me all the reasons why she don't want to go to the gym because, she didn't finally got thick and she don't want to lose her thickness and all this. Whatever it is, right? And then she don't want me as her mental health therapist because she does not know how to distinguish the difference between me being her mother, right, and being her therapist. And I was like, all things, right? Fine. So if you don't want me as your therapist, okay, and you don't want to go to the gym, you're going to have to find you a therapist so you can stay out of this up and down cycle and emotional energy of your emotions and not knowing how to use your tools and resources to do it. You don't want to use the astrology. You want to pick it up and down when you want to. You're going to have to use something, right? So today, when she came back into the situation and we was going back and forth, now telling you don't get to do this, I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be in your ass today. That's what I'm gonna be. I said, get your ass up and go put some clothes on and go to the goddamn gym right now, okay? I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes to make sure that you're in the gym. Not for weight loss, it's because when you go in there, you are challenging your mind. And when you challenge your mind, it makes you sweat, it makes you do all kinds of things to where I have yet to see a person leave the gym pissed off or see a person leave the gym and they are in the same depression that they was before they went in there. It's impossible to do that because you're having to physically push some things against your body and your spirit, and it makes you change. So you're gonna have to do something, okay? So we don't get to use, right, our mental health as excuse because you already have the tools and resources that you need. You're just not using it. And it's not just about the gym. You can go walk. Okay, you can go do multiple things. I told her to go to the gym because I'm paying for a gym. I'm paying for these things at her apartment that I want her to use. You understand what I'm saying? Then when she got to the gym and her partner went with her, and she got on the phone and she was like, Miss Gigi, she's like, I just want to let you know that right before London called you, I told her, I was like, London, let's just go to the gym. She's like, you know what happened when I recommended the gym? I said, what happened, baby? She's like, she cried harder. She did. She gonna cry harder with you because that's what we do. We give it our partners and we get the real big ugly cry because you want them to console you. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: if I'm gonna be your partner until you get one, I ain't consoling you. I'm gonna make you get up. Okay. So today, this is about getting up. I want you to boss up. I don't want y'all keep coming to these classes, man, and keep having the same issues. You shouldn't be having the same issues. Now, that don't mean you're not going to go through some things. We're going to all go through things, but you got tools and resources. You're studying your chart. You know what these things are. So why are you still allowing yourself to go into these spaces that you know you don't belong? You don't belong in depression. You don't belong in these downward spirals. You don't belong there. Now, if you take yourself there, that's up to you, but you don't belong there. Okay. Now, I'm gonna stop there with my story about London, and we're gonna did y'all hear what I was saying? Did y'all understand like the totality of what I'm saying to you? Okay, I'm using my child as an example, but I'm also using myself as an example because this is my coochie fruit. Okay, she came out this coochie, and because she came out this coochie, okay, she gonna get done what she need to get done. Now, y'all didn't come out this coochie, but y'all have chosen me to be part of the one that's gonna walk with you as it relates to this life. And I gotta hold you responsible. I gotta hold you accountable. If you're gonna keep coming pay me and giving me money, I gotta hold you responsible. Otherwise, I'm not taking your money. And I don't care what you say about it. I don't have to take your money, okay? Because I already have all the things that I need. So I don't operate from lack. So because I don't operate from lack, I don't have to have your money if you're not gonna do the work. Okay, you can go over there with them other astrologers or them other people who don't give a care whether you change or not. I want results. Okay, results is what make me like, yeah, we did it, we got it, we got through. You know what I'm saying? Without results, we're wasting each other's time. Okay, and I don't want to waste my time with you, and I don't want you to waste your time with me. Okay, so this is boss up season. Okay, so from now until Scorpio season, everything that we talk about, everything we talk about today is going to be your responsibility. I use that. I said that for purpose. Respond. Stop not responding and expecting the world to give you everything. It's not going to do that. The world wants to know what you want, and it wants to know it in specific details. If you are resisting to communicating with the universe on what it is that you want, need, and desire, you're not getting it. Okay, you just right. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, I'm gonna go through y'all chats real quick. Make sure I ain't missed nothing. Yes, listen, the eclipse and that's another thing y'all need to understand now. This eclipse season y'all went through is not done. We're not done. What I mean is that was the front door. Okay. We talked about it in January. I was like, hey, y'all, this eclipse season that's starting on my birthday is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot. And y'all was like, I bet it is. I bet you believe me now. Bet you understand what I'm talking about now, don't you? You know what I'm saying? So now that we've gotten in the door and everything that came up, okay, now whatever the themes were, you know what your themes were, okay, during that time period, it's not over. You are in a break, okay? And in this break, it's time for you to pin out values, foundations, and abundance, okay? We're pinning this out. Why? Because the back door is coming in September and October. So everything that you just saw for eclipse season, the back door to this energy is going to show up again, right? And when I mean show up again, meaning like it's the evaluation time, right? You went through it. Spirit was like, this is the stuff you need to let go and change. Move this, move that around, let that go, detach from that, right? So now when we come back to September and October, the universe is going to be like, okay, now how do you look, feel now since you let those things go? Now, some of y'all going to try to pick that stuff back up. Some of us going to try to pick that stuff back up, okay? And if you do, I got another rude awakening for you. September and October going to be part 2, but more pressure, okay, than you had in the Aries season. Why? Because Aries going to come back, but then it's going to come back with Libra, okay? So now we're talking about some real pressure, all the stuff together, okay? All right, damsel in distress. Now, Monique, looking to adopt what? Who? Oh, you? I know you're not talking about me adopting you, Capricorn. Ain't no way. Tell me who in the world can adopt the Capricorn? It's impossible to adapt. Y'all are the ones who adopt. Y'all the ones got all the money bank. Are you looking to adopt? Okay, I think you need to be adopting us. Yes, my coochie fruit. Exactly. All right, let's go. Period. All right, change the view. All right. Spotlight for perfect. Okay, now we're going to go into where is my share screen? Wow. Bop. Okay, perfect. All right, so time passages app. If you don't have it open it up, okay? You got it on your phone or if you're on your computer, you know, just have it open in some kind of way, okay? Because we're going to use it to go through it. So as you can see, current phase, when you go into the app, every day is going to give you where you at, okay? Now, you should have changed your date and space of location so that it can always let you know how the shifts and changes are going to affect the area where you are. That is important. So when I'm doing reports for the day, I'm giving you Eastern time and Central time because I feel like that's the easiest way I can kind of give y'all without you trying to confuse yourselves, right? But if you put your location in on your time passes app, it's going to let you know exactly where it is that the changes are going to happen, all right? So sun is in Taurus, moon is in Taurus, but let's look at just some of the other areas, right? So if you want to know like how to find what is actually going on for the day, right? Where are all the planets, right? So you go click on current, go into current chart, go to planets, and it's going to let you know what everything is, okay? So if we look at, we know the aspects that is in conjunction with the moon. So anytime we're talking about conjunction, we're talking about spaces where things are in the same place, the area together, okay? So you got sun in Taurus, we got moon in Taurus, we got Venus in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus, okay? So all of those are together having a conversation, okay? So we look at what sun in Taurus is. Right now it's at 17 degrees. So 17 degrees Taurus is at the secondary stage. Again, I told you everything has three stages, right? First stage is 0 to 10. Second stage is 10 to 20. Third stage is 20 to 30, okay, degrees. These are the stages of how it evolves before it changes, right? So right now we're at 17 degrees Taurus. Now, the best way for you to put in your brain of how to understand what we mean when we say 17 degrees Taurus is look at the degrees as ages, okay? So we're at 17 years old Taurus, okay? In the sun perspective. Now, what does it mean to be a 17-year-old in a Taurus? Okay, now I just told y'all, Taurus is entitlement. Taurus is, oh, let me slide this over. Taurus is all this energy of comfort, right? It's all this energy of home environment, right? It's the values, it's the foundation, it's Venus ruled, right? So it's this, oh, take care of me. I want to be taken care of. And that's okay to feel that because the universe will and does take care of you. Okay. It has been doing it for an entire time. But when we start to get into the spaces of now, again, the entitlement part of it or what we possess, think about a 17-year-old, especially if you have children. Think about the 17-year-old and when they get into the state of the things that are theirs, right? Their own possessions, right? And how that energy shows up in your own life, right? So how does your energy show up when it comes down to those things? It's an earth element and it's a fixed sign. So because it's a fixed sign, that means sometimes when it comes down to a Taurus going through those stages, it can get caught up. So what I mean is, even though today you know what you're supposed to do, right? You know that, if it has anything to do with working out, you made a promise to work out and you didn't do it. You know you wanted to eat right, but you ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know you wanted to clean the house, whatever you knew you wanted to do and you hadn't did it, okay? This is the energy of Taurus because it's just want to lay back and relax on it, right? But when we think about this energy and how it brings us to the whole entire perspective, right? If we just read this, right? You just look at the sun spends 30 days in each sign. We already know that 30 days in each sign, but we also know the energy we're dealing with is 30 degrees, right? So when we think about Taurus, in the beginning of this period, everyone has an increased focus on the material world. So now we're thinking about materials. I don't know if y'all saw that video I posted a couple of days ago of spiritual cowboy girl. And the video was like, oh, so are you ready for your love? And she was like, no, where is the money? Where is the soul tribe? Where is my people? And it's like, wait a minute, I thought you wanted, no, I don't want none of that. I want all these things, right? That's very much 17 degrees Taurus. It's very much Taurus in this stages of, I know what I said, but I want this now, okay? So this energy of just being able to be in a space of just being taken care of or wanting the desires to balance out. It's a space that we're in. Money is very much Taurus energy, okay? As a matter of fact, when we think about the most royalty spaces that we have, or the most money spaces that we have, the looking like money, smelling like money, being money, is Taurus, okay? That's the energy. But at 17 degrees, you ain't done the work yet. What 17-year-old has done all the work? None, okay? Even the ones who are advanced, because these kids, I will say, these new generational children are getting a lot of work done, especially like these influencers, all this kind of stuff. But still, just because you may do the work on one end of it, you still have to go through some maturity. Taurus has to mature, okay? And this is what we deal with a lot. So understand that a lot of the areas where you are resisting to bossing up is where you still need to work on your levels of maturity, okay? That's the only reason why you wouldn't respond, right? Because the maturity makes you respond. Why? Because respond has responsibility in it, okay? So when we decide to be responsible, getting into the 20 degrees of Taurus, then this is where we are ready, okay? So know that as we move through 17 degrees and moving through to the spaces of the next degrees of Taurus, you should be ready to be responsible for your life. You should want to respond. You should want to say, you know what? I want this and I desire this and I already know that I have this, but now it's time for me to show up for it, okay? That's what the bossing up is about. You can't be a boss if you don't want to respond. You can't be a boss if you don't want to take the accountability for what it is that you want to have, okay? Because the universe has already given it to the Taurus aspects of you. You already got it, but you still have to respond for it. You still have to say, I'm going to take accountability for this. I'm going to make sure that I get up every day and do these things. I'm going to make sure I put in the work. That is the difference, right? That is the bullheadedness that you need to activate as it relates to owning these things and getting these things done, okay? Now, Taurus is patient, okay? Unlike Aries, which is not patient at all. Aries will ram its head right on through that wall, okay? Now, Taurus will charge, but it has to be provoked, okay? So sometimes it takes you having to be provoked for you to really get the lesson, okay? And what I mean by that is sometimes it takes for a person telling you that you're not gonna get it for you to be like, oh, okay, then watch this, right? Because sometimes Taurus likes to prove things wrong, right? That's the charge that we're talking about when it comes down to the bull perspective of it, okay? So don't allow yourself to feel like you always got to be irritated in order for you to get some change, right? Or somebody got to piss you off, or again, you got to have a victim, or got to be in your victim mode, or have a villain for your story in order for you to get up and do something. How about you be that for yourself? Okay, what I mean is, this next stage of you owning this perspective and knowing what you have also takes the understanding that you are in a state of constant competition with yourself. You're in a state of constant understanding that you are your problem. Nothing else is the problem but you. Okay, nothing else is the problem with you, because all the resources and the possessions are already there. They're already in place. But if you keep making everything on the outside the issue, then all you're going to do is constantly see yourself into the same situations over and over and over again, wondering why. Okay. All right. Now let's get into the moon in Taurus, right? Moon in Taurus is at 15 degrees. Now, that means, again, we not only dealing with sun, not only dealing with moon, dealing with Venus, dealing with Jupiter and Uranus. 5, okay, which is called a stellium. Anything that we have, we got more than 3 planets that are in the same sign, that's a stellium, okay? So we having a Taurus stellium right now. Now, that's a good thing if you're ready to boss, okay? It's not a good thing if you feel like you're fixed, or you feel like you're tired, or you feel like you don't want to do it. Like my daughter said today when I was like, girl, if you don't get up, I'm tired. No, you're not. You are not tired, okay? You are just lazy, okay? Now, sometimes you have to be honest. Be honest with yourself if you're going to be a boss, okay? And being honest with yourself is saying, you know what? I'm not tired. I just don't want to do it. Maybe go take you some maca and some beetroot powder, okay? Both of those things give you energy. If you feel like you don't got the energy, okay? Go take you a multivitamin, okay? Or go and do a detox or a cleanse. This is a great time to do that. You know, Taurus like to eat. Sometimes you have to make a choice, right? Whether you're going to eat the bad stuff or eat what's going to give you energy so that you can get up and get those things done. Again, where you are responsible and taking accountability is where you're going to know the things that you have and have access to it. Where you decide to villainize your life or make everything else the villain, including your food and your body, then of course you're going to still deal with these same situations of saying, oh, I'm fixed, I'm tired, I can't do it, I don't know what's going on with me. I know what's going on with you, and you know what's going on with you too. The issue that's going on with you is that you don't want to respond, okay? Now, moon in Taurus. I posted today. We know how the moon spends 2.5 days in each sign, okay? But when the moon is in Taurus, it says everyone around you will likely feel a strong need for maintaining the status quo. You are unlikely to ruffle any feathers as your instincts. They're not talking about me because I've been ruffling feathers. I've been ruffling feathers all day, okay? But you are unlikely to ruffle any feathers as your instincts take on more cautious approach. You are sensitive, firm, and unwavering. So this is a good time to handle any type of situation that has been emotionally volatile. At the same time, your extreme emotional fixity may cause you and others to be closed-minded and resistant to any type of change. So you see what I'm saying? So you know what needs to be done, but sometimes get somebody else. If there was a line that can describe Taurus, get somebody else to do it, is the line, okay? And I know that was a last year line, but we're going to keep it. We're going to keep that for forever when it comes down to Taurus. Get somebody else to do it is the line. But I'm going to tell you this, and those of you that are business owners understand this, okay? Getting somebody else to do it is not always the best bet, okay? The reason why is because if somebody don't care about you and your things the way that you care about you and your things, getting somebody else to do it may not give you the results that you want, okay? This is the reason why, to be a boss, you have to learn all areas of what it is that you are doing. So what I mean is, if you're a business owner and you are, running the company, you have to learn accounting. You have to learn marketing. You have to learn color schemes. You have to learn everything there is to learn about your business and your brand before you decide to give it to somebody else. The reason why is because how you want to make sure they're doing the job right? What if they don't really know what they're doing? How would you know if the accountant is really accounting your stuff right? You having to pay back taxes every year, and you recognize that the accountant that you hire ain't even really an accountant. They don't really even know accounting for real. They just told you they did. But because you didn't want to do it, you wanted somebody else to do it, you didn't pass this thing off, and now your business is in a deficit, okay? This is what I mean about being a boss. Being a boss means you know everything it is to know about your shit before you decide to hire somebody. So when they come in and try to help, then you could know like, you ain't doing that right. This is not how that goes. And you know it because you spent the time learning that process. Now, I didn't say that you have to continuously do it, because that over time will get exhausting, right? Especially if you're in business, 10, 15, 20 years, if you try to completely multitask yourself out for all these different jobs, at some point you will be exhausted, right? But the purpose of knowing all these things and learning how to market and learning how to build your website and learning the accounting, and it's because when you pass it off, not only are you going to have a more keen vision, a clear vision on what you're asking for, but you're going to also know when a person is telling you what they can and they cannot do, you're going to be able to justify that. Why? Because you know it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, your mood is intimately connected to your physical senses today, and this might lead you to seek some type of physical pleasures. Why? Because Taurus like the physical. And part of it's liking the physical or liking pleasure, which is not a bad thing, right? It's because that's what it's supposed to do. But you're supposed to seek pleasure after you have done the things you're supposed to do. If you haven't done nothing you're supposed to do and all you want to do is lay up, like I told my daughter when she was just like, she don't have no friends, don't go nowhere. I said, all you do is go to work and go to school and you lay up with T. You lay up with your partner. Now, that's not a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, if you really want friends in a social life, then you're doing too much pleasure. You got to scale that back. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to have a balance of pleasure. So there's nothing wrong with us seeking pleasure. But why are you seeking pleasure and you ain't did no work this week? How are you doing it? You ain't worked all month. You ain't made nothing as it relates to the things that you need to take care of. Again, your responsibilities, okay, the things you want to be accountable for. You haven't done any of that, but yet said you want to lay up? You want to have pleasure? How? You got to have a balance. If you're going to pleasure hard, you're going to work hard, okay? It's got to be a balance of these things so that it makes sense. Because after a while, if all you're experiencing is pleasure, that's not going to suffice. The energy for you is not going to suffice. You're going to still feel depressed. Now you're going to get into the escapism of things. Now you're going to always feel like you don't want to do it, okay? You could also feel more inclined towards domestic routines. While you are expressly sensuous, at the same time, you remain emotionally faithful. With your instincts activated to build and produce something, you would do well to cultivate existing projects or complete something that sensitively gratifies your soul. So finish these projects. Y'all got stuff that y'all been saying that y'all been wanting to do since I've been talking to some of y'all since last year about stuff, and you still ain't got the details together. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're too busy living in pleasure. You're too busy, on social media and watching what everybody else doing and watching how they got stuff going on. And half of them lying. I'm telling you, half of the folks that y'all watch on social media, they are lying their ass off. And you don't see the results. But because you lying your ass off too, you don't mind. You don't mind watching the lies. When you going to change it? When you going to decide to do what you need to do and change? How about this too? Tonight and tomorrow, change your social media. Okay? I'm going to need y'all to start to really allow your intuition to speak to you on the people and the things you need to be watching and paying attention to. If y'all have been spending all your time in this Kendrick and this Drake battle, you need to reevaluate life, okay? The reason why you need to reevaluate life is because it ain't got nothing to do with you. You didn't make no money off of that. You made nothing off of that, okay? And I guarantee you it was probably all pleasure, but no reward, okay? And what I mean is we can be experiencing pleasure and there's no reward. You ever had sex with somebody? And while you was having sex with them, it felt like you was getting to the orgasm, but you never got there. That's what I mean about being in pleasure with no reward, okay? We've all been there. I don't care who you are on this call, okay? We've all been in the space of being in that cycle of thinking that you finna get something out of it and you don't, okay? That is the result of you not being responsible to your life, okay? That's a real thing. That's a real reality. And with that real reality and the moon energy bringing it about, your inconsistencies in your feelings and your emotions, the reason why the Taurus moon even struck that inside of you is because you're tired of that. You're tired of living in seeking pleasure, but no accountability. Okay, you're tired of looking for something to satisfy you just to eat it, and you like, man, I thought that was gonna be good, and it just was missing something. Yeah, it was missing you. That's what it was missing. It was missing your attention and your time is what it was missing. Okay. All right. Now, Venus and Taurus, right? Because this is the beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, let me push this over to the side real quick. Why are you not moving? Move out the way. Okay. We're gonna put this out. Slide this one over here. All right. Just some other things about Taurus, right? Just I want you guys to pay attention to, which is like some of these keywords. These keywords are gonna be important. We're gonna bring them back up in a minute. Okay. Now, when you think about these keywords, I want you to look at the positive keywords. Now, we can focus on the negative. I don't feel like it, right? Because it's not bringing me pleasure. Okay, I don't want to focus on where we know we already are. Okay, we already know that we resistant to change. We already know we stuck and fixed and in our own way. We already know we being stubborn. That's what we currently are, right? But because this is a seeking value, right, and creating the statements for how we create our foundations, I want us to focus on the positive energy that Taurus brings when we allow ourselves to get into that, right? Before we just start talking about Venus. So when we think about it, I want you to think about the keywords. Look at them: punctual, thorough, generous, tenacious, persistent, ambitious, outgoing, focused. Woo, that right there. Oh, that one right. That focus thing for me. That when I tell y'all, if there's not a word that is like riding me consistently that I love, is that one. Like the moment I feel like my brain wants to veer off on something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, I'll be like, oh, excuse me, are we focused? What is over there? I don't know why we looking over there. There's nothing to do with us. Okay. Stay focused. Okay. Don't let no battles, don't let no other people's dramas, don't let other people, how they think about you, what they saying about you, let whatever's going on, let the world have it, okay? Let them believe it. Don't try to clear it up. Don't even try, let it be, okay? Stay focused. Stay focused on how you are responding and what you are accountable for, okay? Ambitious, organized, patient. Be patient with yourself, okay? Doing things scared sometimes mean you take baby steps moving to it. But as long as you are moving, as long as you are hopping them shoulders up, okay? You ain't got to get in that gym and stay in the gym for an hour. As long as you get in there, okay? You don't have to even get in the gym. As long as you get outside and let yourself see nature to remind you that you are true indeed a part of this ecosystem. And we need you. We need your boss. We need every gift and talent that you got. We need it, because if you don't provide it, then we're going to be at a deficit. So this is my belief. The reason why we have wars and the reason why we see wars and stuff going on is because that is also what's going on inside of us. So when we start to see this uprising of things is happening, that's because our gifts and talents that we're not doing is uprising inside of us, right? We're having this battle that's going on. So if we don't do the things, right, then how are we missing out? I bring this up to my clients every time we talk, and I try to get them to understand how much I need them to do stuff. I'd be like, where would we be if I decided not to do astrology? If me and my ex-husband didn't fall out, okay? This is why no matter what things you go through that you think may be bad or terrible, that they're all needed. The reason why is because without those stories, without those situations that you went through, there would be no books, there would be no classes, there would be nothing to tell. There would be no testimonies, okay? So these things that you've gone through, you're supposed to talk about them, and you're supposed to not talk about them from being a doggone victim, because where is the triumph in that? Where is the lesson in that? How are we learning from that as a collective? So it's important for us to go through those things, just like it's important for us to do our gifts and talents. If I had not gone through the 13-year marriage I went through, okay, and my marriage falling apart for a multitude of reasons, right? And when I say fall apart, I'm not talking about in a bad way, because to fall apart, Pluto will break it apart. And it needs to break apart sometimes so you can be built back up. Had I not gone through those things, y'all would not be on this class today. We wouldn't have these classes. I wouldn't be talking to y'all every day. So understand your gifts and your talents are needed because I need them. Just like y'all need me. And y'all in here talking to me as a Gigi, I need them too. So why y'all not giving back to me? Right? Now, again, this is not about me. It's about you first. But understand you first equals me too. Right? But when you don't do you first, I am suffering and the rest of the world is suffering and wars are happening because you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Okay. Now, again, I'm talking to myself too, because there's other parts of me I still need to do. This ain't the only part. I still got music to do. Okay. I still got acting to do. I still got scripts to write. All this is still a part of the things that I have to do because there's people waiting on my music. There's movie companies waiting on my scripts. There's people waiting on certain things that I'm halting in my life because I'm scared or because I'm living in imposter syndrome, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it don't matter, okay? So know that your gifts and your talents are needed so much. And if they wasn't needed, you wouldn't be here. I would not know you and you would not be in this class with me, okay? Now, I'm going to keep saying that every time we talk. I don't care who you are. Every time we talk, I'm saying, we need you. You need you. We need you. Come on, give it to me. Because without you, we wouldn't know. Without you, this wouldn't happen. We are in a cluster, okay? And being in that cluster means we have to start understanding that we have to hold each other accountable, okay? It's not gonna be easy sometimes. Sometimes people are gonna be mad with you. Sometimes people not gonna wanna talk to you. Sometimes it's gonna be all kind of stuff, but you have to stay focused on what it is that you have to do so that we can bring this thing around, okay? Resourceful, tough, because that's me. I'm being tough right now, okay? Determined and loyal. These are all positive keywords that I need you guys to understand, keep in your mindset, okay? As we are working on and moving towards writing our foundation statements and creating our value statements, okay? All right, close this up. And move this to the side. Now, some more words, okay? The best trait of Taurus is dependability. But how can we be dependable if we are not being what we need to be for ourselves? If we're not being true to ourselves, how can we be dependable, right? To be dependable means to respond. To be dependable means to be accountable and to be held accountable so that when you fall off, you are okay with people checking that part of you, right? Or saying, hey, I can't depend on you. And since I can't depend on you, then I don't know if I want you around, or I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it right now, right? Don't mean that's forever, but understand that if you can't be dependable, right? Taurus requires dependability, and requiring that dependability means that's how it pays out, okay? And if you want to know how you get, when you be like, where's the money? Where's the tribe? Are you dependable? Have you been dependable to yourself? Because some of y'all are way dependable to other people than you are to yourself. That's been my thing. That was me. I've done that recently. Giving my dependability in else spaces where I need to give it to myself. So understand the dependability for yourself, your actions, your gifts and talents. That is the thing. You have to work in that space. And what comes from that is understanding that that's where your possessions show up. The things that you have, the primary key phase of Taurus. So when you type in keywords or key phases for Taurus in astrology, the keyword is I have. Just like Aries is I am. That whole head, when we talk about the chakra system and we talk about the crown chakra, that's the I am, okay? That is, Aries rules the head, okay? Taurus rules the throat, okay? It rules this area of I have, what it is that I got going on, okay? Some more keywords: calm, stable, sensible, tolerant, determined, sensible, immovable, and resistant, okay? Now, these words, again, are interchangeable with the keywords that we saw earlier. They're just all spaces that you need to use when it comes down to activating these Taurus energies. So when you say, I want to activate Taurus, or I want to look like money, smell like money, and be money, then you got to be dependable. You have to respond and be accountable to the areas of your chart where Taurus sit. But even if you say, well, I don't really got no Taurus in my chart. Well, first of all, that's a lie. We all got it. But if you don't even want to focus on that, if you don't want to even go into the chart, just know that these words alone is going to activate the Taurus parts of you, okay? Automatically. All right. Now, Venus. Let's talk about Venus. Now, Venus is in Taurus too, along with, I told you, Uranus and Jupiter, right? Now, Venus is in Taurus at 10 degrees, so it's still in that, not quite the 17, 18 where the other ones are, but it's still within that second place. It's the second change, right? But it's 10 years old, okay? So imagine a 10-year-old that wants all the pleasures, right? Wants all the things. With Venus in his home sign of money, for you and for everyone, there could be a greater emphasis on obtaining security through material gain, because the second stage is all about material possessions. So now it is about what you have, right? Or why don't I have this? Why don't I have a partner? Why don't I have the house that I want? Why don't I have the car? Why don't I? Well, are you, again, let's go back to your words. Are you dependable? Are you any of these positive words when it comes down to the things that you say you want to have? Listen to the words, right? Are you punctual? Are you thorough? Okay. Are you focused? Because if you're not, then this is the reason why you're working on it, right? Now, it says sensual pleasures become more important, and you might notice a greater appetite for all forms of physical gratification. Okay, so just wanted to just satisfy. But where's the work? Okay, you could experience jealousy in love matters and be excessive in your level of possessiveness for your personal belongings. Don't want nobody to touch your stuff. That's mine. That's my partner. That's my girl. That's my best friend. Those my shoes. That's not maturity though. That's in the beginning stages of level 2 of the Taurus energy, right? There will be a heightened appreciation for the arts. Can be, meaning like one of the ways to get out of the state of feeling so possessive of this space that you may be in as you're shifting through the things is to get into some type of artistic pursuit. Or like I told y'all earlier, where the projects that y'all supposed to finish? Where's the things you said that you would do? Okay, the places that you said you would be working on. Some of y'all said y'all want to do all these things. Instead of you trying to own something or someone or something, how about you own completion? Okay, finishing up. Okay, accountability to yourself. This is the energy. Okay, now with this energy, Jupiter then comes along and says, I want to expand these things. Now Jupiter's at the 25th degree. Okay, so it's already on the latter stages. It's ready to bless. Okay, Jupiter is the blessing space. Jupiter comes and give you what you deserve. Okay, now you ain't do no work. If you ain't punctual, you ain't persistent, you ain't ambitious, you ain't organized, you ain't finished nothing, you ain't been dependable, you ain't did none of those things, right? Then Jupiter don't care about what you want. So when you be like, I want this, it's like you're still being whiny and you're being entitled. And I don't care, okay? Because you're not doing what you said you was going to do. You're not being held accountable to yourself, okay? You're not doing the focus work, not doing that work. But when you are, Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance, okay? Now, Jupiter and Taurus, especially in the beginning of this 1-year period, everyone has a fortunate opportunity in the material world so long as their talents and abilities are recognized and developed. If you ain't developing it, you ain't getting it, okay? So y'all can stop the yelling and stop the whining, like my child called friends. Why you ain't developing it? Why you not calling your friends? Why you not going to why you not doing all the stuff that you know can help you to develop yourself, right? If you want the expansion, if you really want to live in this life you say you want to live in, you got to do the work, right? Through patience and persistence, solid sense of self-worth can be developed. Where is your self-worth? Why are you feeling like or acting as if you don't want or need these things when you know you do? Why? You know what I'm saying? All right. Fortune in finances may occur, although there may be a tendency to overindulge in sensual pleasure because we love escaping. We love being entitled and escaping. So that's going to be the downside of this, right? So let's just say you do get a little boost. Jupiter comes in and give you a little extra money that you wasn't expecting. Instead of you making sure that you take that money to finish out, pay something off so that you can be less stressed, you know what I'm saying? Or do something for yourself that doesn't involve you eating a meal that costs you $200, you know what I'm saying? And blowing all your money. And then within a week, you're depressed, saying you ain't got nothing. Well, you got a blessing, you had a come up, but because you are not consistent, because you haven't did what you need to do as it relates to really organizing your finances and those things, you have been splurging in spaces where you shouldn't be. And that's not going to pay off for you in the long run, because that is not how you're going to show your ambition. That's not how you're going to make sure that you're organized and resourceful. It's about stretching it out, right? Doing what you need to do. Nobody said you can't go out to eat. But why are you eating out 5 to 7 days a week? You don't have the money for that. When you know you got to get another car, or you know you desire another car, or you know you want to move and get a bigger space, why are you just getting rid of it, right? Because that shows that you are still immature. It shows that you don't want to even work on maturity of making sure that the things that you say that you want from a material, a financial, and from the gains all the way across the board, you have to be able to show how that's going to show up, okay? All right, now, let's get into y'all stuff, right? I think that's important. Let's get into where we have Taurus. So I'm going to pull mine up. Current chart. All right, so because we know that Taurus deals with, go back, pull this up too. Now, when we're talking about Taurus spaces and where it is in your chart, right? If you don't see any, put my chart up. So if you don't see any planets, right? So if you look at my chart here for an example, I don't have any planets in Taurus, but I have Chiron in Taurus. Now, Chiron's not a planet, but it's still a very, very important space, okay? Those of us who were born in the Pluto and Libra time period also have Chiron and Taurus, right? So some of us in here should have Chiron and Taurus, but you should also look and see where you have other planetary spaces that you have in Taurus, okay? That's first things first, okay? And so when you get that, write that down or put it in the chat so we can go through that, right? So write down what planets you have in Taurus, okay? Then after that, if you do or if you don't have any planets in Taurus, the next space that you're going to look for a Taurus conversation is your Venus. Okay, so whatever Venus you have, because Venus is the ruling planet for Taurus, meaning it is the conversation of Taurus. Okay, so we see I have Chiron in Taurus, and we see that my Venus perspective is in Aquarius. So if I'm studying how I want to show up, be dependable, all the keywords that we had, right? I know I'm not only just going to study my Chiron in Taurus, which is the main focal point, right? It's the strongest thing that I can see that I know is there. I'm also going to study Venus in Aquarius. Why? Because the Venus conversation is where you want the pleasure, right? Where you want the gratification, where you want to go over there. That's where it is, right? And then we're going to look at what you have in the second house. Okay, so whatever's in the second house perspective, that's also going to show you what it is that the Venus/Taurus conversation is. Okay, so you're going to write these down in the chat. So that I'm going to go through those things just to give you some quick insight on that as we're getting ready to go into, again, our statements, our stating our value statements as well as foundational statements. Why? Because that's what Taurus deals with. Taurus is your values. Taurus is your foundation. It is your pleasure, which activates your abundance. Okay, so the things that you have in Taurus operates values, operates foundations, operates everything to do with pleasure, and it also operates some areas and some aspects of love and relationships as well. Okay, because it is Venus that we're talking about. Now, another space that you can also study for deeper references as well, because Taurus is also an earth sign. You can also look at the other earth elements that you have too, and know that that's also some spaces that you can study, or some spaces where you can put time and energy into, especially as it relates to grounding. Why do we say that? Because Taurus is an earth sign, and because it is an earth sign, earth deals with grounding, okay? Grounding energy. So First space is where you have Taurus. Second space is where you have Venus. Third space is where you have what you have in the second house. Okay. So mine is first space. I have Chiron in Taurus. Okay. Now that I have Chiron in Taurus, my Venus is in Aquarius. And what I have in the second house, because I am a Leo rising, I have Virgo in the second house. Okay. So if I look at my planets and I know that my North Node is in Virgo, I automatically know that my North Node is in the second house. Okay. This is just the studying, what the studying gives you. Okay. So let me come off of here. I'm going to stop my screen share. And then we're going to go into the chat. All right. Change this view too. All right. Okay. All right. Can't help it as a human designer. I have to wonder if she has an emotional authority. Girl, I don't know. She's a manifester, I believe, Kelly. I'll have to give you her chart again, but she's a manifester. But I don't know what her the number is to it, but I know that for sure. All right, let's go. Okay. Who can adopt? Nobody. All right, let's get to these transients. Okay. All right, Carissa says Taurus, Moon Taurus, okay. Lilith is in Taurus, North Node is in Taurus, fourth house is in Taurus, and fifth house. So is all this in Taurus, Carissa? You can come off mute if you need to, or you can just type it in the chat if you can't come off mute.
Yes, all of it is in Taurus.
So come on. So I already know what you over there. You over there with a stellium going on, and you doing all of it. What? Hello? What? Hello? What's going on? That's beautiful though, because with the moon and Taurus energy, like we've been talking about, this is an emotional push, right? So emotional energy of what you want to have, right? What you need to have. Now, if you combine that with Lilith, which is very much so like your wild energy of wanting to just like break free and break out of it, you know what I'm saying? North Node is very much your responsibility. So meaning like when we look at North Nodes, I want y'all to look at North Nodes almost like the easiest way for you to satisfy this life. Okay. Again, my North Node is also my North Node is in Virgo, which is kind of similar to the same, but still Earth perspective, right? But when you think about the North Node for Taurus, it's like you really want to be taken care of, right? You want everybody to get it done. Fourth house energy means that is where your programming was. So meaning like some of this energy of Taurus comes from the house or the home environment. Maybe you grew up in a household that was very much had all the things, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even grew up in a very wealthy household to be exact, but it was always having things taken care of, right? Now the fifth house perspective of it, or leaning in the fifth house, meaning you take that fourth house and that programming, and now how does that make you respond and show up, right? So some parts of that has to do with like your imposter syndrome or not necessarily wanting to show up as much as you can, right? Or some limiting beliefs that may be preventing you from showing up. So a lot of your statements are going to be recognizing the fact that everything that you want, you already have, right? So I'm going to use you for an example, right? What is you would say the biggest thing today that you feel like you are feeling like you don't have, or what is your lack of possession for today?
Well, I would say the amount of money that I want to make. And I'm in pursuit of trying to figure out how I want to go to like level up, basically the next level. Mm-hmm.
So are you working for yourself or are you working for somebody else?
Both.
Okay. Are you part-time working for yourself, full-time working for yourself? Or tell me how is the working, how are you doing both? On what level are you doing both?
Full-time working for someone else, part-time working for myself.
Okay. And are you wanting to change it around the other way around? Or are you okay with where you are?
Yeah, I want to change it. I want my time back.
Okay. So creating your first foundational statement, right, of value is I have all my time back, right? You have to recognize in order for you to get the time back, you have to already say it because you already do. Your time is already your own, but you have already chosen how you're going to divide it. But if you start to say it, right? You start to move into the space of now you start to see the opportunities that you can make and the things that you can do to get that back. Now, some parts of it, right, of this time management of it is recognizing because it's Lilith and it's North Node. Is the fact that some parts of you working for yourself full time is scary for you. Okay. Meaning that that's going to mean you're going to have to take on more responsibility, right? More
Right.
accountability,
Right.
more time management, more structure, a lot of those things. And the biggest thing of it is separating from some limiting beliefs from what your family may think about it. Now, do you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or you come from a family of people who were just hard workers?
Uh, well, my father has always been an entrepreneur, hard worker. We actually were it, it, in poverty, not the other way around. My
Okay.
mom, hard worker, she's just a teacher, like she's been teaching forever. So,
So mom was a teacher, dad was an entrepreneur. What did your dad do?
drywall construction.
Okay. So basically just construction, wanting to build and do his own thing, which is
Mhm.
great, right? Because when you think about building and what it takes to do that, that does take a lot of like management of things, right? So I'm pretty sure like this trying to get management of himself, doing what he wants to do, but trying to have all the things together, and then your mama working on a teacher's salary and the perspectives of that, making it to be a situation to where y'all was probably not able to really gain grounding. When you look at the things that you have in the fourth house, Taurus in the fourth house, is it retrograde?
How? Ooh.
Do you see a R? Are you on time passages?
Yeah, let me switch over. So, or well, I can't see my houses in time passages. I was on the cafe astrology to see that.
You can, yeah, you can sit on the little box chart that they have on the first beginning. You'll see a little R beside it if it's retrograde.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how to read that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So if you
For
see the little R's beside any of your transits, or even if you go into, let me pull up my thing again. If you go into time passages too, and you go and say, like, for example, you have Taurus moon, and if you click on your moon in Taurus, when you go into it, it'll have a little R at the top beside it too. And it'll let you see how many
oh,
planets you have in retrograde. And
okay.
I'm asking that because when we start to look at spaces where we have retrograde, sometimes it can be the opposite. So what I mean is your family had all the potential to have the greatness, to have the energy of being spoiled and all of that, right? But it wasn't there, right? Y'all was in poverty. So because of that, your expression is, this is what I want to have. I don't want to go through what I went through with my family, right? So some parts of that is keeping you from fully going to full entrepreneurship, because if you had seen your daddy make it, right? If you had seen entrepreneurship take y'all to the next level, it would be no problem for you to do that. But
Right.
because you didn't see that, it's a limiting belief of, can I really do it? Am I able to really do this? So part of this is understanding that the fourth house programming is poverty, right? And as long as poverty exists in your mindset about what entrepreneurship looks like, as well as working for somebody else looks like, you're always going to be afraid to make that move. Okay. So the Lilith, which is going to be your best friend in this, is going to give you some assistance to push you out, to make you understand that the wild energy in you can get this done. But it's going to take you having to be dependable and immaculate with your money, right? Especially if you're trying to draw and attract in more money. You already have it. All the money is there. That's one thing I can tell y'all. When it comes down to the amount of money that we will have in this lifetime, you were already born with it. So when you came out, your mama, you know what I'm saying, vagina,
Mhm.
you the coochie fruit of your mama, all the money that you was gonna make in this realm was already given to you at birth. But the accessibility to it, you got to do things to do that. And one of the things that you're going to have to do is take risk. Okay. And what I mean taking risk is you're going to have to, again, own your time by saying, I have all of my time. I desire to have my time. I did whatever the money lack is, putting an actual tangible statement to it, right? So let's just say right now you're making 5,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
Now is, I have 6,000 a month, or I have $10,000 income a month, and it's coming from my business of me owning my time. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying when I'm saying making statements? So your
Yes.
value is your time, right? That's your value. But your foundation is you recognizing that the desires that you have are what's going to create the foundation so that you can take the risk. Because if you don't say it, there is no statement, there is no energy, there is no basis out there that's going to allow you to see that you can take this chance. You understand what I'm saying?
Got
So
it. I did find the fourth house, it is in retrograde.
yes,
I
I
found
knew
it.
it. Because there's no way you got Taurus in the fourth house and you did not live a rich lifestyle unless it was retrograde. Okay.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So know that that programming just simply means that your family had the gifts and talents, but somewhere along the way, something happened, right? So you do come from a family of royalty. So we go back far enough. We go 7 generations back. And I
Mhm.
could pull up birth charts from 7 generations back. Somebody in that 7 generation was very, very wealthy, but also somebody in that generation, them 7 generations, was very frivolous with money. They just did whatever with it. Okay. So that energy means that it has to be worked through the family cycle. So now you're part of it. You're part of working this through, and you're going to be the one to change it. But in order for you to change it, you have to change the language. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to move to somebody else, but I want you to, while we're sitting here, I need you to write 2 statements before we leave, right? I want you to use I have as the beginning, right? So I want you to say, I have my time, I have my money, or I have my time and I do blah, 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 blah. Because it can't just be I have my time. You have to tell the universe what you're going to do with it. I have my time and I use my time on my business. I have my time and I do blah, 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 blah. I have this amount of money and it's coming from blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is how we create value and how we create foundations. We need to put this in as we're going into this Taurus moon, because whatever you say, Taurus is going to help you to render that. When I mean help you to render that, whatever statements you make, now is going to be for you to stand up, boss in accountability, boss in your ability to be dependable to that so you can respond to it. Okay. So work on those 2 statements for me. I'm going to come back before we leave and I want you to say those for me before we leave. Okay. You
Okay.
got me?
Got it.
All right. All right, Monique. Aries got Jupiter in Aries in the 2nd house. What do we got in Venus? Did you give me some money? We're going down. See if you got some more stuff.
I said Venus was in Aquarius.
Okay. So you got Venus in Aquarius. Got it. All right. Venus in Aquarius. And what's in the 2nd house?
I think. Hold on, let me go back. I think it
Your
was
rising
Aries.
sign. What's your rising
Hold
sign?
on. I think it's Aquarius. My rising.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
think?
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. No, I know it's Aquarius.
Okay. So
It's
you got
Aquarius.
Venus in Aquarius and it's in the 1st house. Okay. So that means you got Venus in Aquarius in the 1st house. That means Pisces is in the 2nd, right? Pisces in the 2nd house. So when we look at what was the theme that came up for you today, what is it that you feel you're lacking in possession?
That I'm lacking.
Yeah. What do you want more of right now? What do you feel like you're supposed to have? What is Taurus now? What I'm supposed to have it. I know no money is always the Capricorn thing, but outside of that,
Um, I don't know. I think it was just stability.
okay. Foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, stability.
Okay. So where did you move? Have you moved?
I will be moving June 30th. I got my tickets and everything. So
Okay.
June 30th.
So you move in June 30th. So we already know the motion is happening. So in the meantime of that motion, right? As you're getting there, what is the missing element to that? So where you are now, do you not feel stable? Do you feel like you're being thrown back and forth even though you know you're moving?
Um, my biggest thing was like it was like the housing situation. Like, I'm moving, but I have to find a place out there. So what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna spend money and hustle for a month when I get out there, or how am I gonna do this before I move? If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. So money is the main thing, right? and foundation and stability is the second, right? So we created a statement of value, right? As it relates to money, how much money does it take for you to find a place? Do you have, first of all, have you found the place where you moving?
I have, but
How much it costs?
it was probably like $1,000, like 1,000, like 1,100, but it was my credit, so I was denied due to my credit.
Okay, so if you did not due to credit, right? Because usually they'll have one or two things. Either they'll say, okay, you can't have this because of credit, or they'll say you need to give us, instead of, first month and last month, you need to give us an extra deposit, which is three, if we just look at it as 1,100, that would be 3,300, right? That you need to have just in case, because most companies or most housing places are like that. If you don't have the credit, they just make you pay an extra month deposit. So just in case you jump ship, excuse me, that gives them 2 months to catch up or whatever. In that amount of money. So let's go ahead and push it up a little bit more, right? Because you're going with your kids. So we go 3,300 is to just move into a space, right? That means realistically you need about 5,000, right? Just realistic. Now, do you have some ways in which you can make 5,000 by June 30th is when you say you're leaving?
Yeah, I
So
do. I actually have like about $10,000 saved up.
So what's the problem? Issue we having?
I don't know. I think Arizona's a little different with how they do things. I thought I would pay a higher deposit if my credit wasn't as good because I have no evictions or anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just wasn't meant for me. So I'm gonna just keep looking, but I have the money.
Now see, that's what we're not gonna do. What we're not gonna do, it ain't meant. That's not what I'm gonna say. Understand that if you go to one door and they like, it ain't that you don't belong there, is that ain't the right door.
Yeah.
Okay. So even though you liked that particular place that you got denied for, what were some of the things you liked about it?
Oh my God, the amenities. It had like 5 pools. It had like 6 workout places. It was 100 playgrounds for the kids. It was located like 5 minutes from like major shopping areas. So I was like, this would have been perfect.
So you see how that sounds of value coming out of you? Ooh, I valued it, had this, it had that. Those are the things that you keep. You keep the things that mean the most to you in the valued spaces, but don't tie yourself down to a particular location. If that particular location said no to you, find another one. Keep going. Don't stop until you get a yes. That's it. Okay. Now, in the instance of that, now we're writing the statement, right? So now we're going into the spaces of what we have. If having a spot is what you want, then how will we create that statement? If we start off and say, I have what? What do I have?
I have the place of my dreams, the place that I want. I don't know.
Give me some more. I have the place that I want, which includes
all the amenities I just mentioned.
All the amenities. It has the pools, it has the this, it has the that, it has all of it. You know what I'm saying? Everything, it has it. Because it's not that place, it's the amenities that you want, right? It's the energy that it made you feel. So don't stop until you get that. Okay. So write your statement in that. I have the house, the apartment that I want. I have the apartment that I want, and it has every single amenity that I asked for, down to the kids' playground, down to the big garden tubs, to the walk-in space, the closet, whatever it is. Okay. Write it. You already have it. It's not absent from you. The vibration is the only thing that we're tapping into. We're finding the vibration. We're looking for the vibration. Okay. Write that statement. Now, foundation was the other one, right? Or money was the other one. But you say you got the money. You say you got 10 G's or 10 saved up, right? Do you feel like you need more, or do you feel like that's good enough for you to move?
This is good enough for me to move.
Okay, so we ain't got a money problem. Okay, so now with that, I have the finances that I have to get everything that I desire on this move to Arizona. You heard me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm not done with you. Now you need to go and write me 2 statements, just like I gave to Carissa to do, so that when we come back to the end, I'm gonna need you to tell me what those statements are.
Okay.
All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Who turn is it now? Okay, Sherry? No. Let me go back. Did I skip somebody? Okay, no, Carissa did you. Okay. Monique. Okay, Sherry, I think. Okay, Sherry, let's go. Chiron, 8th house in Taurus, Venus in Cancer, Scorpio in the 2nd house. That's all some good stuff, girl. That's some goodness. So your Chiron is in Taurus like mine, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, that Chiron and Taurus energy is one of the things that has everything to do with, our energy of, showing up in the wounds, okay, and how we handle them. But what are some of the things that's showing up for you today? What is lacking? What's missing? What do you not have?
Organization.
Okay. You don't have
And,
organization. And what else?
and my thing is always freedom.
Uh-huh.
Freedom from working a 9 to 5.
So you want to go back, you want to work for yourself, be in your own space, right? So we think about organization, right? And then let's go and look at what could be affecting that the most, right? So we look at the 8th house Taurus. That's going to be the biggest issue that's going to affect organization. I'm gonna tell you why. Because 8th house energy is where we have to change, right? Where we are forced to make that change. But because the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio energy, okay, it has its polar opposite energy sitting there, okay? So that's just like Mars being in Libra, okay? Now Mars is the ruler of Aries, but when Libra is there, it's like I want to move, but as soon as I take 2 steps forward, I'll be like, wait a minute, I think I left something, and then I take 2 steps back, okay? The same way how 8th house Taurus will act, okay? Meaning that 8th house wants to change, but Taurus wants to stay fixed. They want to sit there for me. Like, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to do that, okay? So part of your organization has a lot to do with a lot of your mental energy going back and forth, how you waver, okay? You wavering back and forth, meaning like the Taurus knows what to do, but you just choose pleasure instead. Okay, so part of your organization is going to come from you feeling like you got to be a little bit more dependable on yourself, right? A little bit more accountable to yourself. What are your accountability partners look like? We've talked about this before. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Who or what is your accountability?
Right now, me, and I have a friend at work who, as far as like working out, is my accountability partner. But yeah.
Okay,
That's it.
you don't have, because your friend at work is, is not really gonna be your best accountability partner from getting out of work. Do you understand how that could be a little bit? Because if your friend at work is at work, why she gonna encourage you to not be at work? That's not how that works, right? Because she at work with you. So you know what I'm saying? Having accountability for someone who can hold you in the space of making sure that you uphold your organization has to be another entrepreneur or somebody that you can go to watch. It don't necessarily have to be somebody you know what I'm saying, personally know. It could be somebody that you follow. It could be your social media, right? It could be an organization page. It could be somebody who you watch and you look at and say, oh, I like how they are organized, and that could work, right? It could also be you going to have a meeting with somebody who is great at organizing, right? Organizing time management. You and I have worked on time management. We worked on certain things, but now it's having the accountability to that, right? So now we gear our statement towards that, right? Of what we need. How would we write the statement? I have.
Organizational skills.
I have organizational skills towards completing and doing what I need to do for my business and my brand. That's one. Okay. I have my time to go to leave my job, to be at home so that I can do the things that I need to do, right? I have my freedom. I'm living in my freedom of working for myself. And I keep my organization so that I can maintain it. So it's the statements of recognizing that you got to put yourself into the spaces of where you already have it. If organization is a problem, today we write it out. Today is no longer a problem. Okay.
Okay.
Venus in Cancer, okay, is also going to give you way to that too, because Cancer energy is all boss energy, okay, especially when it's taking care of itself, right? So when your self-care is high, your organization is high. When your self-care is low, your organization is shot to shit, okay? You're going to only seek pleasure. You're not going to care about your organization at all. But when your self-care is high, then the statements that you need to stand in that automatically falls in place. You understand? So I need you to write me 2 statements.
Okay.
One dealing with organization, the other dealing with freedom.
Okay.
All right.
I have the freedom to work for myself, and I have the organizational skills to run my own businesses.
Okay, now I have the freedom to work for myself needs more. That ain't enough. The universe ain't, it's not satisfied with it. You have the freedom to work for yourself and
I don't know.
what do you do with the freedom? What do you
Oh,
working with
okay.
yourself in what ways? Like, and what are you doing with that? Now, of course, you have to just clarify that. I have the freedom of working for myself in my candle making. I have the freedom. I'm working for myself. I make this amount of money for my candle business or whatever the thing is, right? Clarify it, because the freedom of working for yourself is not enough. It's not directive enough to the universe.
Okay.
Tell the universe exactly what you want. See, a lot of this energy in us not even knowing how to direct and saying what we absolutely want is because we also come from spaces of people telling us that we couldn't have it. Okay? So some of this is also understanding that as we're writing these statements, we're breaking free the energy of recognizing what's going on. Okay? Of recognizing how to come out of this. The language is how you come out of it. So yes, you do have the freedom of working for yourself, but what work are you doing? You understand? So clarify a little bit more for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
You ready for it now? You want me to come back?
I think can say it now. I have the freedom of working for myself in my candle business and boutique. All of my businesses flourish.
Okay. What about
because
the organization statement?
Because of my organizational skills.
Okay. So you have organization in your business, right? Which allows you the freedom to work for yourself in your candle business and your boutique. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so you know that now what you need to do to balance that out, study that Chiron. That Chiron placement that you got, same thing because I'm coming to you in a minute. That Chiron placement that we have is a thorn in our side when it comes down to recognition and business. Okay. It is the thing that makes you halt yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, okay, I want to go and do it. But if you're not getting the validation from it in some kind of way, it makes you feel like, is it really worth it? Yes. Because the gratification is not about what everybody else is saying. It's about what you're doing for yourself. Right? That's what I'm saying. You already have it. So we don't have to work for somebody else when we know we already have it. When I mean I'm talking about everybody that got Chiron and Taurus. Right? That's why I told y'all I'm not moving. When I said earlier, I don't move from lackluster energy as it relates to finances. I don't have to do that because I know I already got the money already. So whenever I get into a space where I feel like money is starting to get tight or slow up, I start looking for the ways in which I am not validating myself. Where am I not adding value to myself? Before I start saying, and ain't nobody out there valuing me, I'm like, no, you're not valuing yourself. And you can prove it, right? There are ways that you can prove that you value yourself. Stop giving away information for free. That's a great way to start valuing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a state of recognizing that your years of the things that you've done, the experience that you've gone through, those things deserve reward. And they deserve rewards by how you show up to them. Okay, how you are organized, right? How you are dependable. This is how you establish value. But if you don't think, nope, the world is not valuing you, but you're not organized, you're not looking at none of the ways in which you can be better, then how are we looking for validation outside? It's never going to happen. You understand? So you're owning your time and getting your time back. Again, to all the Chiron and Taurus people here, the ways in which we get our time back, or the ways in which we move into working for ourselves, is you recognizing that job that we go to, that we used to go to, the time you put in, the same amount of time, the same energy and ways in which you trust that 9 to 5 is the same ways in which you're going to have to trust yourself. Okay?
Okay.
So work on that. I'm coming back. All right. So let's see. So that was Monique, Sherry, and we did, let's see, Carissa. Okay. Princess. Okay, I'm just going in order of what I see on here. So I'm gonna go Princess, and I'm gonna go Kelly, then I'm gonna go Brandy, and then I'm gonna go Sukina, and then Kezia, and then Bridget. Okay. So let's go to Princess. So let me see what you got on here, Princess. Okay, Princess says she got Chiron and Taurus, which we just talked about, Venus in Cancer, and Sag in the 2nd house. Now, so tell me, and Taurus in the 7th. So tell me what's missing today. What is knocking on you for this new moon in Taurus today?
Self-discipline. I need to honor my commitments to myself.
Come on, you said it. You said it right on now, baby. You need to honor your doggone self-discipline to yourself. So how do we do that knowing that we already have it? How do we create that statement?
I have the self-discipline to honor my commitments to myself so that I can be financially wealthy and open my community center.
Give me another one, just as beautiful as it could be. Wait, who did I lose? Who just left?
It was Suki.
Oh, Suki left? Okay. Thank you. All
Um,
right. Give me another one. That was good, Princess. That was on point. That, to me, that felt great. How did that feel to you?
it feels good. It feels good. And like, I need to honor my commitments to my body. I haven't figured out how to word that one just yet.
Okay.
But
So your body is the other one that is coming up for you. Honor your commitment to your body looks like. When we get into a space that we are not sure about how to state it, because the I have is already direct. You've already in it. Okay. I have is I'm here, right? But we start to wonder or try to figure out, we may need to add some desire, right? So now let's move into the desire part. So if it has something to do with the body and you wanted to get more into alignment with your body, how do we use the I desire for that?
I desire a flatter stomach and tighter thighs.
Periods. Okay. But what you gonna do to get it? Okay.
My yoga, I don't do my yoga, Gigi. I'm getting it together. I'm trying, I swear.
Well, take trying out. Let's
Okay.
delete.
I have the self-discipline to honor my commitments to myself and hone in on my yoga practice.
I actively do my yoga every day or
Yes.
every 3 times a week. Give it some direction. How often?
Every day.
Every day, how much?
Once a day.
Once a day. Now, let's say it again. I have
the discipline to honor my commitments to myself so that I can actively practice yoga at least once a day, every day.
Take the at least out.
Okay.
Let's try it one more time.
I have the self-discipline to honor my commitments to myself so that I can actively practice yoga every day.
Every day. You hear what I'm saying? Now, understand that the purpose of the statement is to get the body ready and conditioned to move on it, right? Now, when you say it, the body automatically responds. And you can feel it because when you say these statements, y'all should be feeling like almost like air breathing on your body or little goosebumps starting to come in. That's how you know you believe it. If you don't feel that, you need to say it until you do. Because that's the body responding to you. When you feel the little air, the energy tingling up into your body, that's your body responding to the belief systems that you have. It believes you. And when it believes you, now it's going to start knocking on you. I mean, like tomorrow, It's gonna be like, hey, is it yoga time yet? What about now? What about now? Is it now? Is it now? It'll keep doing it until you respond. So the first thing is the statement. The second thing is the action to it. Okay. But that felt good. The first one you rolled off, that thing was strong and tight. Like it hit me great. I mean, just like held me. This one right here, this yoga one, I feel like you're doing this. Like you like, okay, okay, let me see. Every day, maybe. I don't know, maybe possibly. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep working on it, right? Let's keep saying it. Keep saying it, princess. Do you hear me? Just keep
Yes.
saying it. Take the trying out. Stop giving yourself an excuse. Again, Taurus love excuses. Because if you give a Taurus an excuse, that's how it's going to escape. That's how it's going to sit back on the pleasure, right? But that's not dependability. That's not accountability either, right? So take all the words out that gives you any reason or any space to run from yourself and put directive, definitive energy in, because when you do that, that is dependability that the Taurus needs. Okay. So every day, say it every day until you believe it and until you get into it. And even if you do it today and tomorrow's a little bit of a struggle, still say it. Say it every day. Okay. Until your body starts to respond to it. Got me?
Yes.
All right. Great.
Thank
You're welcome. Kelly. All right, what you got over here? Let me see. Okay. Midhaven and Taurus. Okay, 10th house in Taurus. Venus in Sag. Second house. It's Moon and Pluto in Libra. Okay. So the second house, the Pluto and Libra, that's the change and the back and forth, especially like with money and directive energy. But what was missing today? What showed up today in this new moon energy?
Oh, as soon as you said it, support.
Support. Okay. How do we support in what ways? What kind of support do you need?
So I've been writing while I've been listening to everybody else. So support, and then to the side I put relationships and resources, physical and emotional support, and then the self-discipline that who was just talking?
Princess.
What she was talking about, the self-discipline to honor my commitments to myself.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
So
all day.
So we was writing a statement out for support, right? Both, you said you need both the emotional support and what else, the other support you said? Financial?
Physical and emotional support, but that boils down to relationships and resources.
Okay. So how do we create this value? How do we create the foundation on that? What do I have?
I have physical and emotional support and relationships and resources that bring me satisfaction.
Come on. Bring you, period. You have it already. It's already there. So if it's lacking, it's because we're not directing and driving to it, right? Now, I still feel like when it comes down to relationship, the part of the relationship part, it needs to be a little bit more. Give me more. What relationship, what kind?
Intimate relationships.
Mm-hmm. So got to put that in there, right? Because a relationship is a person or people that's on their way to something, right? It is a GPS system. So we just say relationship is too blanket. We need the universe to know exactly where this energy of support is coming from and where it's going back to. So we know I have emotional and physical support from my intimate relationships that feed me and give me unlimited resources. Okay, unlimited. You need to make sure that it's open. It's like the ocean is so big that there's no end. Because if you see no end to it, it'll constantly flow. But if you just say resources, sometimes our resources get limited. And if our resources get limited, so do our relationships.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay.
I got a job this week.
Come on.
I got a job because I'm tired of riding the struggle bus. and I got a job that fits in, that I can work when I want to work. I can still do the things that I'm doing, that I enjoy, that bring me satisfaction, but I need some more money.
Okay. So if you got the job, right? Because I'm pretty sure in order the way that you attracted the job is by saying what you just said. I want a job that I can still do what I want and still have access. But did you say I have a job that allows me, right? Because I don't care that you just got a job this week, because we don't have to accept it. I don't care even if you work for a week and leave it. It ain't enough. The reason why it's not enough is because you didn't put a money value to it. So now let's put the money value to it. I have a job that I can do what I want. I work how I want. I'm free, but it provides me how much income do you need a month? You don't have to say that out loud.
Okay.
Just know that this is what needs to be attached to it. This is adding more values and it's adding more of a foundational to what Taurus can give you. What Jupiter and Taurus is willing to do for you is you got to say it. You can't just say, I want a job that gives me freedom and I can come and go, but not say how much it's going to render you, because if that's the case, it's just going to give you the job, which is what you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, can we attract the job with the finances? Yes, because you already have it. You just proved that you got it because you got the job that you wanted. The only problem was the money wasn't there, but you never said that it had to be.
Right on.
Right? So now it's going to take you having to activate self-discipline for that part. Right? So we just created the statement of the support, right? With the unlimited resources that's coming from the intimate relationships that you desire. But what about now the statement of the self-discipline that's going to help you to get to the job that you want, that has the resources to, has the financial amount of resources to it? How do we state that?
Well, what I wrote down was self-discipline to honor my commitments to myself and to building the intimate relationships and resources that bring me satisfaction.
Well, let's separate it. We already got the support handled, right? The
Okay.
support as it relates to the intimate relationships that's going to provide the unlimited resources on that end. That's one. But let's get clear, right? Because sometimes if we put too much in there, again, it's giving too much room for error. It's giving too much room for that Taurus to be like, I'm gonna just lay back and just go eat real quick, or let me just watch this show or binge watch on this thing. It will take an out, right? So it needs definitive on this particular statement here. How do we make sure that your self-discipline statement allows the income, right, that you need from the job resource? I have the self-discipline.
Okay, I have
the self-discipline
to
attract the job that I need to provide me freedom and resources of the financial amount of whatever to take care of myself and my responsibilities. Now you can change that how you want. If you need to clarify more to where it makes you feel, where you feel that heart open, that's what I need from you. I need your heart open on that. Because when you made the first statement, when you started to break those things down, I felt your heart. I felt you like boom, 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 right? But then we started getting to this self-discipline part of it. I felt you clam up because I know that even maybe working a little bit is probably not what you really want to do, right? You want it to be from a different source, right? But in order for you to get to that source, the self-discipline is the key. That's what you said. And you know that that's what it is. But it's not the self-discipline in making sure that you're doing something for somebody else. It's a self-discipline in your verbiage to yourself. It's this constant language that you're telling yourself. So statement I just gave you, I need you to rewrite it. I need you to rework it. And when I come back to you, I want you to say it to me. Okay, in a way that makes you and I both feel it.
Okay.
All right. All right, great. Okay. All right, Brandy. Are you here with me? What are we supposed to put down? What's in your, come on, Bridget, helping out your sister. Okay, Brandon say I have queries. Okay, being smart said. Okay. Okay, so you're a Taurus rising, and you also have
Yeah.
Taurus. Okay, now what showed up for you today as far as something that you feel like you need that's missing? What do you need to have, or what is not in place today?
What came up was patience.
Okay. Patience.
And of course, just staying disciplined and consistent to hold myself accountable for the things that I want.
Great. So if we was to state this, right? We writing our value statements and our foundational statements. How will we write the patience piece? I
have patience.
For
I have patience for I don't know. I gotta think about that.
it's okay. We can do it right now. You ain't running from this Taurus. The Taurus energy in you wants to run. Not doing it. Okay. You have patience for yourself, right? You say to stay disciplined in all actions and areas of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. You have patience. And that's the first part. The second part is discipline, right? I have discipline to make sure that I get those things done that I need for my business and my brand so that it succeeds.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you write that down?
Yes.
Now, I need you to go and write 2 statements along with that. That's about the same thing. I still need it to be about patience and discipline, but I need you to add to what I just said. Okay. So come back.
Okay.
I'm coming right back to you. Just to give you a couple minutes to digest this, what we're doing, right? Because some part of this too is the pressure, right? Or feeling pressure. Ain't no pressure here. We all in the same space, okay? Ain't nobody, no higher, no lower. We all in here together, all 9 of us, okay? Recognizing that we're all activating the same things. We all need patience with ourselves, okay? So I need you to have patience with this. Don't clam up on me. And don't allow yourself to clam up or run from this, because this is how we get out of the space of being dependable for ourselves. Okay, so I want you to go and write me another statement, another patience statement, right? I have patience for myself when it comes down to blah, 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 right? I have the discipline I need as it relates to blah, blah, blah. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, Carissa, we did you. Okay. So I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay. Kezia.
Hisaya.
Saya. Hi, my love.
Hi.
All right, let me look at yours. Let's see what you put up here, girl. Let me see. All right, so Venus in Virgo. Okay. Second house, moon in Virgo. Okay. So tell me what came up for you today. What's been coming up? What are you lacking? What do you feel like you don't have that you need to have?
So I would say I'm currently working on my time management, but that's a bit all over the place. And then also discernment as far as people around me, who I should be having in my space, who I should not be, when I need to let go of people, when people need to stick around. So
All right.
yeah, those would be my top 2, I would say.
Okay, so we start with time management, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we start the statement off with I have. How will we say that?
So I started to write, I have the ability to properly manage my time, which allows me to complete all the tasks that I need in order to aid in my growth personally and professionally.
Okay. So we're gonna take a couple things out.
Okay.
That I have the ability. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Take out the ability out. The
Okay.
ability is still too much hamster wheel. Okay. The ability
Okay.
is like trying, right? I have time management. Direct
Okay.
it. You got it. I have time management to achieve my goals of the last statements that you said, right? Of achieving and obtaining the things that I need for my life. Okay. You already have it. There is no going towards it. There is no ability of it. You already have it. You got the time management. Okay.
Okay.
I have the time management skills to achieve. I need you to finish the rest of that statement out, right? To achieve your goals of what you just said. Okay. Everything else sounded great. It was just the fact that when you got to the I have part, and as soon as you got into the I have, it's like you went all over the place. You started throwing things around. Okay.
Okay.
Focus. You gotta be reminded that Taurus is about focus, right? Staying on the goal of it. Okay. Now the discernment of letting go, right? Because that's what's coming up.
Yeah, and people in general.
Yes. So earlier when I said we have to be mindful of making ourselves the victim in our story and making other people the villains, right? So the discernment of letting go is stronger than the discernment of having the wrong people around. Because to be honest with you, it ain't really the wrong people around as it is the choices of us not owning, right? Our healthy boundaries of recognizing that we're not supposed to be there. People can be whatever they want, but where
Right.
are you, right? You don't need to be there, right? So this is more so about the discernment of recognizing that you've outgrown these spaces. You've outgrown these situations, right? So the second statement, I have the discernment of letting go spaces that I've outgrown.
Okay.
Now, I want you to go back in and rewrite it though, okay? I'm giving you directives and definitives, but I need you to define it, right? I need you to define it so clear to where there's no guesswork in it. There's
Okay.
no all over the place. You have the discernment of letting go. It's already there, right? You have the discernment of recognizing that the spaces that you've been allowing yourself to be in is because you have not broken up with the old parts of you. The people that are there, they there because they feel like they need to be. But you are not supposed to be there because discernment has already told you better. So now I have the discernment of listening to myself and honoring myself as well, of knowing that it's time for me to go. Okay? How does that
Which
feel?
I have a habit of in relationships, like sacrificing what I know I need to be doing just for the sake of like trying to keep things together.
And why you think you do that?
Well, I've recognized that the root of that was a self-worth issue and some like abandonment issues as well. And me just feeling like I need to hold on to people when they come into my life because there's a scarcity there of, like I said, going back to the abandonment issues of not knowing if I'm going to have someone close to me again. And so whether it's someone that I've just known for a long time or the case may be, I just feel in certain situations, I have recognized that I've held on to people in situations that are not healthy for me because there's a sense of, I've reckoned, like I said, self-worth and me realizing or thinking that I can't do better or that I don't deserve better. But then also feeling like I'm not going to get this closeness again.
And so what that also means is that you're lacking closeness with yourself. So part of our discernment is also recognizing that we need to attach more to ourselves. So this moon energy that you got going on and this Venus and Virgo energy, the values, and when it comes down to your foundations of love is the fact that the reason why the abandonment is there and that you keep harboring on it is because you're living in self-abandonment. You're constantly abandoning yourself and thinking that other people are going to fill that up. Did you hear me earlier when I said when we have sex with people and we think we're gonna get something from them, we don't get nothing from it. Or you be so hungry, you go eat a meal, you be like, that ain't even fill me up. Are you hungry the next 30 minutes? That's that same energy that you're dealing with when we talk about abandonment, right? It's not a real thing. Even though we come from situations and childhood situations that have caused these things, what abandonment is really trying to get us to focus on is self-gratification, right? So this whole month of pleasure that I've been focusing in on just as a community, like we need to focus on pleasure, is about you recognizing that as long as you are in a constant state of relating to yourself, whether that be self-pleasuring, not just your genitals, but your entire body, this is the energy of recognizing that the only person that you really have is you.
Yeah.
Everything else is an illusion. So even you trying to sabotage yourself for the sake of thinking that somebody is going to stay there is you abandoning yourself. So you see how you are constantly abandoning yourself thinking that it's going to be everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
So our statement in that is, is addressing that issue, which is I have the safety and the attachment of self. I have the infinite love of self. I have so much attention on self. It don't even matter if somebody else comes or goes. Now, this doesn't mean that we should don't desire intimacy with people. That's not what I'm addressing. What I'm saying is healthy relationships and healthy relating comes after you've gone into a deep relationship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You get attached to you, and it don't matter if people come and go or whatever, and you can just experience them in the state of where y'all are. That is peace. That's when you really break up with all the issues of ever abandoning yourself for anybody else. Because for you to stay in spaces where you know it's time for you to go, that energy right there is nothing but self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you have the safety of self-attachment. You have the knowing that you will never abandon yourself. I will never abandon myself. I hold me. I am in a constant state of discerning what I need, and I give it to myself, even when it means not being in spaces where I'm no longer allowed to be.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You want to work on that, or you want to say it now?
I want to work on that.
Okay. Work on it. I'm going to come right back to you.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Bridget.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hope my microphone does not fuck up.
Not right now. Sounds great.
Okay. It has a tendency to do that.
Okay. So what is showing up for you today? I know you came on kind of on the end of class, but we're working on our value statements and our foundational words to ourselves, right? So these words are things that we're going to be saying today and the days to come so that we can honor this energy within ourselves of being dependable to what we know we already have, right? So what is showing up today as of what you feel like you are lacking or what you don't have? Because Taurus is dealing with everything that we already have. So what do you feel like you don't have?
I was trying to like free write a little bit as I was listening to you talk, and most of what kept on coming up, if I would have like put a snippet on it, would be confidence,
Okay.
courage, and self-love.
Okay. Which are all kind of like in the same vein, right? You know what I'm saying? Confidence and courage and self-love. So we were working on these spaces, right? Especially if we thinking on the confidence and courage and self-love. You have Taurus in the first house and the ascendant, and then you got Chiron and Leo. So this energy is more so pulling from that Chiron and Leo more than anything because Leo is the house of courage. Leo is the heart house, okay? It's dealing with all the heart stuff, right? But it's also dealing with the energy of confidence as well. So we was to write the statement, I have confidence, right? I have the courage and the confidence to love myself in ways that I've never loved myself before. Right? I have the courage to open my heart to a deeper space of love for myself. I have the energy of I have the energy and the power to heal my heart, to let go of all the things that have broken my heart too before.
Yeah.
Okay, because part of that self-love and that courage is also not trusting that if you do open your heart again, that it won't be broke, right? So you're running from that space. Yeah, you're running from it. It's okay. It's all right, right?
Yeah.
But knowing that you already have it, those things, you already have the confidence, you already have the courage, you already have the self-love. You just have to speak it. You have to own it. So part of this is, again, Taurus is about where we gotta be the big boss. We gotta step up, right? The stepping up is owning it. It's recognizing that where we don't own is where we are entitled. Are you entitled to confidence? Are you entitled to courage? Are you entitled to self-love? No, you're not entitled to it. You already have it. That's the difference. So there is no miss. There is no lacking. All there is the words are not there. Okay.
It's true.
So those statements, how did those statements sound?
They feel very, very actually on point with what I wrote. Just the opposite, the positive side of it.
Yes. And that's what it is. That's why I'm asking y'all what's lacking, what's showing up. Because whatever is lacking and showing up, we are standing in the mirror. All 9 of us. We're in the mirror and you're talking to the other side. What's the other side? The actualized side. I mean, actualized side meaning everything that you want is right there in the mirror. But you have to tell the mirror to come over here. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And until you do that, it's just gonna do the same thing we're doing, which is staring at each other in the face. That's it. You'll be like, okay, are we ready for it? Yes, we are ready. Okay. So you have the courage, you have the confidence to activate and live in self-love, to live in abundant self-love, abundant courage, abundant confidence. Okay. Just like them bold glasses you got on, baby. That's all confidence. Okay. All that energy. Look at all the energy that you're coming with. So now the same way you showing up for us tonight in this bold way is the way that you have to show up tonight and continuously show up from now until we get to the other side of this. Okay. So those statements sound good, or do you feel like you need to work on some statements and come back?
No. They sound good. And of course, like I'm gonna rewatch this and
Yes.
yeah.
And get back into it. Great.
Yeah.
Good. All right, my dear. All right. Sakina.
Hi,
Hi, sugar. How you?
I am doing well. Okay, here I am. Okay, what do you need from me? My Taurus placements and what else?
Yes, ma'am. I need your Taurus placements. And I also need you to tell me what is coming up for you today. What is coming up in lack of what you don't have, what you feel like you supposed to have, or what you want? What's coming up?
So Taurus moon, Taurus Mars, Chiron and Aries, Venus Libra. So financial freedom. I need the discipline to stop living check to check and living outside of my means. I was faced with that today, got a little frustrated with myself, and I just want to get myself out of this cycle. And I'm one of those 6-figure earners that lives paycheck to paycheck. So I want to get out of that. And the other thing that came up for me was there's so many opportunities for my business to get to the next level, but I really need to hone in and set a better foundation and processes for my business to be able to get the business that I foresee in the future. So yeah, those are the 2 main things that came up for me today.
All right. So finances and organizational processes is what I heard.
Okay.
Am I right on
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
So finances. So you are a 6-figure earner. So this is not about not having the money. And even though you want to scale up, this is about You living in, like I said earlier, I know you came to class
I
late.
heard that though. I heard it. I was like,
Living in pleasure, living in the pleasure.
me.
You know what I'm saying? So if we want to be accountable, right? And dependable to our own energy, we got to be honest that the area of your finances, not that you don't have, is the fact that you are not being responsible with them. Okay? So living paycheck to paycheck means that you're just not calculating what's coming in and what's going out. Right? And that energy of not calculating what's going in and what's coming in, what's going out, that's childhood. That's coming up in a family who did not actively have any type of financial skills. That's what that is. But most of us come from that, right? So it's not an issue of how much money we have as it is what are we doing with the money that we got coming in, right? So now we know we already got the money. So we're stating this, right? Because the first way of getting out of the way is to change the language, right? So there is no more living paycheck to paycheck, right? So I have the finances I need to not only fully take care of me, but to save so that I can do all the other necessary things I need for business. That's part one. How did that feel?
That felt great. I just have to rewind selector so I can get it all down on paper.
Good. Part two is the organizational process. Okay. Now, this means you need to activate some levels of accounting. Okay. So if you've never been to an accounting class, you need an accountant, right? And when I mean accountant, I'm not talking about somebody who is just making sure, that they got control of your money. I'm talking about you as a business owner. Like I said earlier, in order for us as business owners to get to where we need to, we have to get the skills first so that we can know what we are asking to hire, right? Mm-hmm. So taking a little course, it could be a one-day course that you go to another, somebody who you look up to that's in business and they're doing well. You can go to one of those things, or you can just simply take an accounting course that shows you income and outcome, right? So my mother is an accountant. She's in the Capricorn. So for most of my life, I saw her do nothing but be anal about income and outcome statements, to the point to where, girl, she would walk around with a little pad, and every time she spent something, she was writing it down. Right? Whatever came in, is like, and I was like, God dog, like, do you have to do this? No, she's like, yeah, the reason why is because when I get to a certain number that I done wrote down, I know what's in that account. I'd be like, I draw the line. I can't go no more, right? But if you never do this and all you do is swiping, all you doing is swiping the card, baby, you're never gonna know, okay? So the second part is in yourself saying, I have the organizational process to ensure that everything I need as it relates to my business gets done. You got it already. And with the organizational processes of recognizing that is going to give you the next level, right? Because Spirit said the next level has nothing to do with the fact of the lack of money. It has everything to do with the fact of the skills that you are just resistant to do, because they're already there.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear me? Are we together?
Did you hear the chuckle? I hear you, ma'am. Thank you, Spirit.
We already got it. Okay. So stay in this. This is what Taurus wants. This is what Jupiter and Taurus wants to give you. It wants to give you more, but this is what spirits say. Why would I dare give you more when you're so irresponsible with what I'm already giving you? I'm giving you 6 figures right now. And that 6 figures that you got already right now, you're still making sure that every time I give it to you, you get yourself to a state of where you don't have nothing. And that's where you are mostly comfortable. You're comfortable in the state of nothing. So it's okay, because we just wrote ourselves out of that, baby. We out of it now.
Bye-bye.
Now you got the organizational process to never go there again. Now you have the financial fortitude of calculating your income and your outcome statements to where you are never going to experience that again. Never again will you experience it, because you know what you have. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. For the spin the block, spin the block, block, spin the block, block. All right, Monique, you got a statement for me?
I do.
Okay.
So this is kind of lengthy, but it says I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom luxury apartment with over 1,000 square feet with newly updated stainless steel appliances
Come
that
on.
cost me $900 a month, with over 14 pools, 8 jacuzzis, 10 parks, a fitness center, a business center, located in a safe neighborhood within 5 minutes of all major shopping centers, dentists, clinics, or dental clinics, and ER clinics in case I got to take kids. But yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yes. Thank you for being very directive and clear. And I'm gonna just say something about that, because there is no such thing as it being too much. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. When London when it was time for her to go to high school, and I was living in Atlanta, I knew I wanted to live in East Point. Not only did I know I wanted to live in East Point, I knew I wanted to be close enough to the airport, because I knew my life was finna put me in a state where I was finna get ready to travel. Okay. So me living in East Point by the train station was extremely important to me. Okay. Now, I remember my friend at the time, she used to live over in that area, right? And I wound up reaching out to her. I was like, hey, do you know if the land person that you are renting from has another space that I can kind of stay in the area? Because the house that she lived in was down the street from Tri-Cities, right? Which is where I wanted her to go to school. So I needed to be close enough in the vicinity for her to go to Tri-Cities so she can go to performing arts school. And I didn't have a car. So I needed to be close enough to the train station so I can get on the train and go up and down. When I reached out to her, she was like, I just moved and that house is available. I was like, oh my God. Now, I also needed a certain budget, okay? And this is when old Atlanta. I knew I couldn't pay nothing over $800. My rent was $750. You hear what I'm saying? So there's no such thing of you saying, oh, that's too much, or no, the universe will give you what you want if you request it. I had to say it. And I lived in that house for 2 years. Okay. Now, when it was time for me to leave, I didn't want to leave. I was like, universe, manifested this. Why would you make me leave? And the place, and I didn't even know where I was going to stay, but I knew that I needed to still be close to that school. Okay. I go, and I knew that I needed more space too, though. But even though we was in there, we was a little 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I was ready for at least a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right? You couldn't have told me. I had cried about the space that I was in, y'all. And the space was, even though it was a nice space, it was starting to break down, all kinds of stuff. But I did not want to leave. But the universe pushed me out. Not only did it push me out, the next house it put me in was 4 blocks down, okay, from where I was. 3-bedroom, 2-bath that they had just renovated. Had a yard, okay, still on the bus line for her to get back and forth to school. What I'm saying to you is what you want, you can have. But if you're not willing to say it, you'll never get it. You understand? So thank you for having that statement be so clear and so long so that you can make sure that the universe knows exactly what you're asking for with no guesswork. Okay? Sherry? You got a statement for me? Are you good on the ones we created?
Yeah. Oh, I got a statement and it's long as hell too.
Okay, come on.
I have the self-discipline to stay organized, which allows me the freedom and courage to trust myself to run multiple businesses, starting with my candle and boutique business. My businesses generate 5 times my current income. My self-discipline or organization that I have gives me the freedom to take care of all of my needs and pamper myself and family. I attract romantic partnerships that enhance my life consistently.
I have. I don't attract. I have.
Oh, I have.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have.
Huh?
Hold on, let me stretch that out. I have romantic partnerships that enhance my life by
Yes.
consistently supporting me romantically, financially, and emotionally out loud. I have business partnerships that are beneficial to my business.
Come
I have
on.
the organizational processes to make sure everything gets done.
Come on, I see. I hear you. I hear you when you heard your sister stuff. You're like, oh, I need that too. Let me add that
Yes.
in there too. I need that one. Ooh, I need that one too. You better add them on in. You better be in this space and hear what God got for you and go ahead and add that into it. I like that. That was good. That made me feel good. I felt good on that. Okay. It was really strong and powerful. Like Monique said, come on now, powerful. Absolutely. Okay. That was good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you too, Monique, in advance. I cannot wait to hear when we come back to class about all these manifestations that we've attracted because we already told the universe that we already have it. Okay. Congratulations. All right, Kelly. You ready? You got something?
Yeah, I got a whole I got a whole thing here.
Just give me one of them. You got to give me all of them. Just give me a good strong one.
Right. Okay. So my two main statements, which I'm gonna go back and listen to this again because I feel like there's some things that I missed.
Yes.
But I have safe and secure, intimate relationships that support my emotional and physical needs for unlimited resources that bring me satisfaction.
Yes. Come on, satisfaction. That felt good. Like eating a nice piece of, I don't know. I'm feeling beignets right now for myself. I think I need to go home. But girl, that was crunchy and crispy. I like that.
Well, I'm a generator in human design, so satisfaction is my signature.
That was good.
I have to have satisfaction. That's the energy that I have to have.
Yes.
Okay. So my other one is I have the self-discipline to attract and carry out satisfying work that allows me to take care of myself and my responsibilities consistently with ease, grace, and surplus.
Yes. Come on now. Surplus. And ease and grace is really good too to always add to our flow statements, right? Because it allows us to not have to be on this space of having to feel like we're having to like tug a war with it. You know what I'm saying? It just like it flows in, and as easy as it flows in, it flows out, right? It's us recognizing how much water we are and how much we contain. And if we live in that flow, it's gonna always be easy. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I loved about Abraham Hicks. She has this one, they have this one soundbite that is like, it is easy. Oh, everything comes to me with ease. I feel everything is so easy. I feel the ease. You know, the life comes with ease. I love the state of flowing on the word of ease. So that was great. That was beautiful.
So, but one thing that you said that I think applies to all of us is I am dependable, responsible, and reliable in what I already have.
Yes.
So I think that we can all add that kind of as like an anchor to these other statements.
Yes. Yes. We already have it all.
And then it's so interesting because you're talking about looking in the mirror. On all of my mirrors, I am worthy, I am adored, I am supported, I am safe, I am recognized, I'm accepted, I'm loved, I'm healed, I'm whole, I'm grateful on every single mirror in my house.
So can we now add I have to those mirrors?
Absolutely.
Because now we're moving out of the state of it all being in the crown, which is sometimes all lives in our dream state reality. And the have brings it into the physical realm. It becomes physical and tangible when we say I have. As long as we live in the I am, it's always the God principle, right? But sometimes the God principle is the spiritual principle. It's not necessarily the physical principle. Okay.
Right.
On those mirrors, now go and put your I have statements on those.
Right on.
Okay. All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, my love. Congratulations in advance. All right, Brandy, you got something for me, or we're gonna stay where we at?
Yeah, I rewrote it.
Okay, come on.
I I have patience for myself to be the best mom I can be, to unlearn what was taught to me, and to create a healthier relationship with my children. Patience that I will have a home for me and my children that would be built from the ground up and in a location that gives me peace. I am staying in the present to be disciplined and consistent, to create balance in my home and business to be successful. I deserve to give myself self-love and become the woman that I want to be and live in my purpose to help my community.
Beautiful. I would correct two parts. You
Okay.
said I am on one part of it. Take every
I
place
am
you
staying
put
in the
I
present.
am and put I have.
Okay.
So I know you said
I am staying in the present to be disciplined.
I have the discipline. You don't have to say I'm staying in the present. I have the discipline. Okay. The other thing you said was about self-love. I have self-love. Okay. It's already there. There's no I am into it. You don't have to crown it, right? It's already sitting there. So all we're doing now is pulling it out. Okay. But everything else was amazing. That was perfect. That was exactly what we needed. That was
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Carissa, what you got? You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I have full autonomy of my time, and I create and sell art and makeup services with my time. I have an additional $10,000 per month of money from art and makeup artistry. I have the discipline to show up for myself every day to make this happen. I have the time I desire to do what I love and enjoy the fruits of my labor.
You see what I'm saying? Look at how that felt. Look at how that just rolled off of your body and rolled off of you. You know what I'm saying? How did that feel to you?
Amazing.
Let's go. Do you hear me? Let's boss it. You already got the language. So let's stay on it. That was perfect. Every statement that you have, everything started out with I have. So you already know. So now it's already in it. You're already in it. So that was good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Kasaya?
Yes.
Boom, I got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So mine are a little bit short. I'm going to add more. It's just hard for me to like write and listen at the same time. So I'm going to add more to this. But for the time management, I have time management skills that allow me to complete the tasks that I need in order to achieve the goals that will help me grow personally and professionally.
Yes.
And then for discernment, I have the discernment of recognizing when I'm not serving and loving myself. My discernment gives me fulfilling and safe relationships with myself and others.
Come on. That recognition, baby. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because number one, we all know we got discernment. We all know this, okay? But recognizing that you're not making the choice, though, that right there, woo, that just took you over the top. That was perfect. That was good. How did that feel?
It felt good. And I definitely needed, like I said, I'm definitely going to add more to this, but I definitely needed to write that down to put that on paper. So,
and the thing is, I want you guys to continue to do more. 2 is just the start, right? Just so that we're not in here all night, right? But this is what you need to be doing for the new moon in Taurus. This is the super moon energy. This is what it's asking for you to do, right? Give yourself the permission to know you already have it. So now to command it, right? I have it. What does Taurus deal with? Possessions, right? So these are you already possess the energy. Now you just have to align yourself to the possession so it can show up. Okay. But that was perfect. Congratulations, my love.
thank you.
All right, Sukina. You gonna stay where you at, or you was doubling back? You got something else to share?
No, I'm unmuting myself, my lady.
Okay, come on.
All right. I affirm that I have the organizational skills and processes in place to ensure everything I need in my business gets done.
Yes.
My mission statements provide clear direction, and my onboarding and training systems set my team up for success.
Mhm.
I am committed to building a thriving business and benefits all parties involved.
Press pause. Take the commitment out.
Okay.
I have.
Okay. Okay. I have. Okay.
I have. Okay. Always start it off with I have, because if you put anything else first, right? Meaning you said, what did you just say? You said something about,
I have the organizational skills and processes in place.
that was
to ensure-
great. It was
Okay,
a good
everything I need. Then I talked about my mission statements provide clear direction, and my onboarding and training systems set my team up for success. And I said, I am committed to building a thriving business that benefits.
I have the commitment, and
Okay.
I thrive in building
Okay.
the business.
I heard. I have the commitment
I
and
have
I
the commitment.
Uh-huh.
I have it already in place.
Heard. And I thrive
Yes. Yes.
in
Yes.
business. Thank you, madam.
Got it. You got it. You got it. That's it. This is what you need. You understand? So now when you find yourselves in a state of blocks, right? For tonight, tomorrow, now you got a way out, right? Now you got something to focus on. Now you got something to be dependable on and accountable to, which is your statements. Because we don't have the room, the time, or the energy for you to be imposter syndrome, for you to say what you're not gonna do, or I don't have the money, or I don't have this. That's not true. Doing that is where you are just completely ignoring the fact of how much power you actually do have in your Taurus placements. Okay, Taurus is where we are already rich and royal. Okay, you are royalty in your Taurus placements. So if you don't activate it, if you don't claim your value, right, what you're going to do is constantly give your value away. You're going to constantly let other people use you and abuse you because this is the story you want to tell. This is the energy that you want to carry around on your shoulders, that I couldn't make it, or my business failed, or my relationships didn't make it because I did A, B, C, and D, or all I do is give my love. No, it's not the truth. You already have success in your business. You already have success in finance. You already have success in love. It's already activated. You just have to call it. But see, the reason why we don't want to call it is because we don't want the responsibility. We want to hide. We want to act as if we don't have the tools and the processes. You already have the tools and the processes. All you have to do now is activate. Activation looks like your statements that you just wrote and the statements that you're going to continue to write. Okay? But this is your super new moon energy in Taurus. It's owning your royalty, owning the gifts, the talents, the money, everything. You already got it. Okay. Now it's time for you to live in it. Stop not living in it by trying to say that you don't have it. You already have it. We just proved it. Okay. Y'all got any questions? No questions. Great. Well, I love y'all. This is the end of class. We done got through our new moon, super new moon in Taurus. I wish y'all so much abundance because that's what's coming in now. You have opened the floodgates to stand in your I have is to open up the abundance for everything that you need. Okay. So I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all for showing up where everybody else is not wanting to show up for themselves. Y'all decide to show up and say, I'm going to own my accountability and I'm going to own the responsibility of making sure that I do what I need to do. Okay. No, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for continuously to come and show up and watch y'all, watch your daily reports and that kind of stuff. I appreciate y'all so much for allowing me to continue to do what I have to do, okay? I love that I get to do this, right? Because I have everything I need, and I'm continuously proving that I have everything I need by continuously to show up and do this for myself, okay? This is for me, and then it's for y'all, okay? But we are in this together. I appreciate y'all for constantly opening up your hearts and your minds and your spirit to change, not just for you, but for all the energy that's coming behind you. You are truly cycle breakers. You're truly generational people who are creating nothing but beautiful things for this world because you are not taking no for an answer when it comes down to you living in your life and living in your purpose. So thank y'all for allowing me to continuously live in my purpose. And I appreciate y'all so much. And let's continue to work. Okay. So I'm going to send you guys out y'all recording. immediately. I'm gonna send it out tonight because I know there's gonna be the question, when we gonna get our recording? Tonight, okay? As soon as this thing get through rendering, I'm gonna go ahead and email it out to y'all so y'all can have it. And then that way y'all can continue to use it tonight. The full moon is going to go full at 11:30, I think, tonight. So you still got some time to just work on your statements. But of course, the moon stays in the sign for 2.5 days. So know that you still got some energy to work on this. So don't feel the pressure. Stay in the pleasure, okay? But also know that you have to stay in the work. If you find yourself again feeling stuck or feeling like you're having some worry, read your statements and keep reading them again until you feel your heart open, until you feel that energy hit your body so you know what you're working on, okay? All right, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Big hugs and big kisses. I'm gonna
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.